People are being fired left, right, and center.
One after another, some of the world's biggest tech companies have been announcing layoffs, and it is happening here in India as well.
Layoffs have been a part of the business world for decades and have been a source of concern for employees and organizations alike. With the COVID-19 pandemic and then the Russian-Ukraine war, the situation has only been worsened. With many businesses forced to close their doors or drastically reduce operations, companies are facing the difficult decision of reducing their workforce to stay afloat. According to the Layoffs.fyi, globally more than 150,000 employees were laid off in 2022 alone, and besides 2023 has just started, and we are seeing whooping figure of 88,000 job cuts globally. In this video, we are going to delve deep into this topic and discuss the current scenario and future of the mass layoffs. Are layoffs really a solution? Are they even effective? And above all, what are the best solutions we can implement to fix this situation? You are watching One Scoop Clarity. So let's begin.
Didn't you get the memo?
The first recorded use of layoffs was in the United States in early 1900s, when companies started to reduce their workforce due to economic turndowns, when the companies first started implementing mass layoffs as a cost-cutting measure. Over the years, the use of layoffs have become a regular business practice, particularly during the times of economic hardship. Worldwide, layoffs gained widespread popularity in the 1980s and 1990s as globalization and advancements in technology created a more competitive business environment. Recently, the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the trend of layoffs worldwide. The pandemic has caused widespread economic disruption, with many businesses forced to close their doors and lay off the employees in order to stay afloat. And then, after the public equity markets fell in early 2022, pressurized by the Russian invasion of Ukraine, governments around the world deployed anti-recession measures. These measures involved increasing the interest rates, making debt expensive, and consequently draining both public as well as the private equity markets. Over the past few months, US multinational companies, including the tech giants like Amazon, Meta, Intel, Twitter, and financial giants like Citi and Morgan Stanley, announced massive layoffs. According to the global placement and coaching firm, the layoffs crossed 60,000 in September and October. In India, so far, more than 21,000 employees have been laid off by 67 startups, including the unicorns like Byju's, ChargeBee, Cars24, LED, Ola, Oyo, Meesho, MPL, Udaan, Unacademy, and Vedantu. EdTech has seen this massive layoffs, followed by consumer services and e-commerce. The three sectors have collectively seen 41 startups laying off 17,172 employees so far. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, layoffs are often ineffective. It states that bad layoffs and layoffs for the wrong reasons rarely help senior leaders to accomplish their goals. Needless to say, layoffs can lead to a decrease in morale and motivation among the remaining employees who may feel uncertain about their own job security. This can result in decreased productivity and engagement. Also, layoffs can harm the company's reputation and make it harder to attract and retain top talent in the future. And above all, layoffs do not address the root cause of the company's problem and do not provide a long-term solution solution to financial difficulties. Moreover, if the company does not address the root cause of its financial difficulties, it may have to resort to the layoffs again in the future and create a cycle of instability and have negative consequences. No doubt, in the short term, layoffs can cause financial stress, anxiety, uncertainty for the affected employees. Losing a job can be a traumatic event that can result in the feelings of shame, loss, and stress. Also, the interruption in the employment can result in gaps in their resume and affect their future career prospects. Similarly, in the long term, losing a job can have a negative impact on the individual's career and financial stability. It can take time to find a new job, and process of job seeking can be stressful and uncertain. Naturally, if an individual is unable to find a job that pays as well as their previous job, it can lead to long-term financial difficulties. According to a study by Kate Strelly, an assistant professor at the State University of New York, laid-off employees have an 83% higher chance of developing a new health condition in the year after their termination and are 6 times more likely to commit a violent act. In essence, companies should consider alternative options and adopt best practices to minimize the negative impact of layoffs and create a more sustainable solution. It is important for the companies to handle layoffs in a way that minimizes the negative impact on the employees and provides support and resources to help them transition to their next job. If we examine the matter closely and look into the major reasons which are the leading factor for the mass layoffs, we will find that at this point, the primary reason for the layoffs is the overhiring that took place in 2021. During the COVID pandemic, restrictions and the lockdowns meant that people were stuck at home. All the regular facets of everyday life, from work to entertainment, had moved online. During this period, tech giants saw their profits skyrocket. Even as for other sectors of the economy, especially contact-based services, came virtually to a standstill. Many of these firms also believed that there was a new normal with respect to technology adoption by consumers. This led firms to rapidly build up capacity, including fresh hiring, to adapt to this new normal. After a strong recovery, economy changed by early 2022 as inflation made a dodged comeback. Tech firms realized that they overhired during the pandemic, wherein they had expanded for a different economic reality than the one we face today. While losing surplus employees as a correction was always on the cards, the runway for it seemed longer, with a market where central banks were printing money and pumping the economy. However, the runways shortened and the urgency to resize and restructure was triggered by the funding freeze and mounting margin pressures. The global economic slowdown has affected many industries, including the IT sector in India. Looking at the last couple of quarters gives a clearer picture. There has been a downward trend in the funding amount as well as the number of startups getting funded. At the same time, many IT companies and startups are facing financial difficulties. Companies need to keep pace with changes in technology, market trends, and consumer behavior. In order to maintain their competitiveness, companies are restructuring their operations and implementing cost-cutting measures such as layoffs to remain financially viable. Apparently, shifts in market demands is also one of the major causes. For example, now less people are visiting educational websites since the pandemic subsided, leading to the decrease in the revenue of edtech startups like Byju's, Unacademy, and Vedantu. As I mentioned before, edtech has laid off the most employees, with 14 startups in the sector sacking about 7,000 employees in 2022. Likewise, the other factors that are contributing to the layoffs in the IT sector and startups in India or anywhere else for that matter include technological advancements, automating certain tasks, increased level of competition, change changes in business strategy, leading to a realignment of their workforce and the elimination of the positions that were no longer deemed necessary. Also, some companies are now moving towards a remote work trend to outsource work. Then finally, there is talent shortage. A shortage of skilled workers in the IT sector is leading to increased competition among the companies for the top talent, which is driving up the salaries and leading to increased costs for companies. Now the question arises, are we near to the end of this vicious cycle or it is just the beginning? What is the future and is it slowing down or picking up more speed? Actually, it is very difficult to predict the exact future of the layoffs, but some factors may play an important role in shaping it. These factors can include economic growth, technological advancements, and changes in the government policies. For instance, if the Indian economy continues to grow, companies may be less likely to lay off employees. On the other hand, the increasing adoption of the automation and artificial intelligence technologies may also result in job losses as the companies adopt more efficient and cost-effective method of production, but also lead to the creation of new job opportunities in areas such as data analysis, machine learning, and cybersecurity. As of now, companies are facing decreased demand, supply chain disruptions, and economic uncertainty. Companies will continue to focus on cost cutting and efficiency, which may result in more layoffs in the future. It is now a reality that the pandemic had accelerated the trend towards remote work, which may have a lasting impact on the tech industry and the way companies operate. This could lead to a reduction in the need for the physical office space, which could result in job losses. However, new technologies and emerging industries may create new job opportunities and mitigate the impact of layoffs. Companies may also invest in retraining and upskilling their employees to adapt to changing market demands. Not to mention, government policies and regulations regarding the employment could also have an impact on the layoffs in the country. It is important to note that these factors are subject to change and can impact the future of layoffs in India in unpredictable ways. In conclusion, the future of layoffs is a complex issue that can result from a variety of factors, including economic factors, changes in business strategy, technological advancements, and competition. While there may be many challenges in the future, new technologies, emerging industries, and the ability to economies to create new job opportunities to replace those lost. It's important for the companies to plan for potential layoffs in a responsible and ethical manner to minimize the harm to their employees, customers, and communities. So that will be all for today, guys, and we will be doing a part 2 soon, which will be all about the solutions and alternatives which the companies and the government can implement to address this issue, and more importantly, as an employee, what you can do in this difficult scenario. I'm attaching a link in the description of a study by Harvard Business Review if you want to learn more about how Nokia and AT&T handled this layoff situation in a very smart way. If you feel you have gained even the slightest of knowledge by our video, please hit the like button and comment your views on this topic, because YouTube loves engagement and you know it. Please share this case study with your friends to boost their knowledge, and also if you want to support us, you can donate to us, and link is again in the description. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more case studies like this. और अगर आप इसी सेम केस स्टडी को हिंदी में देखना चाहते हैं तो आई बटन को टैप कीजिए. Thank you so much. See you soon.